Is the governor's endorsement of Nigeria's tax reform just another follow-follow act? And now to the news info. In a dramatic turn of events, the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF) recently gave their endorsement to the federal government's new tax reform policy. On paper, the gesture appears commendable, a collective step towards tackling the country's daunting revenue challenges. Yet, as with many endorsements in the Nigerian political landscape, one can't help but wonder, is this a well-thought-out decision, rooted in careful analysis, or merely another case of follow-follow? Nigeria's tax-to-GDP ratio remains one of the lowest globally, hovering around 6% compared to the 15 to 20% recommended by the International Monetary Fund (IMF). To put it bluntly, Nigeria is leaving money on the table. However, a sound tax reform is not just about raking in more revenue, it is about doing so in a way that fosters fairness, transparency, and economic growth. Are these the ideals guiding the governor's decisions, or have they simply followed the federal government leads without deep reflection? Taxation, while a fundamental pillar of governance, can be a double-edged sword. Implemented correctly, it funds public services, spurs economic growth, and narrows inequality. But poorly structured taxes can crush businesses, discourage investment, and disproportionately burden the poor. For Nigeria, the stakes couldn't be higher. The Tinubu administration's proposed reforms are ambitious. They aim to simplify the tax system, broaden the tax base, and improve compliance, laudable as these goals are. They are easier said than done. Nigeria's economy is plagued by widespread informality, weak institutions, and systemic corruption. First, the success of any tax reform hinges on meticulous planning and robust execution. Herein lies the concern. While the governor's endorsement might signal political unity, does it truly reflect a shared understanding of the policy's intricacies and potential impacts on their respective states? More importantly, have they considered how the reforms will affect the ordinary Nigerians already struggling under the weight of inflation of fuel and fuel subsidy removal? Historically, Nigeria's political class has a penchant for endorsing federal initiatives without rigorous scrutiny, whether it is out of political expediency, fear of isolation, or sheer indifference. Such uncritical endorsement often leads to disastrous outcomes. Take, for example, the implementation of the value-added tax (VAT) system. While VAT is an essential revenue tool, its administration in Nigeria has long been marred by inefficiencies and inequities. Many states barely receive their fair share of VAT collections, exacerbating regional inequalities. Despite this glaring issue, successive governors have largely acquiesced, failing to demand a more equitable system. The question then arises, have the governors taken lessons from the past? Did they demand assurances about how the proposed reform will address the challenges of tax administration, ensure equitable revenue sharing, and protect vulnerable populations, or did they simply nod along, content to be seen as team players? At the heart of any tax policy is its impact on the people. For the average Nigerian, taxes are more than just an economic issue. They are a matter of survival. With inflation rates in double digits and cost of living skyrocketing, even a minor increase in tax rates could push many into deeper poverty. Governors, as leaders closest to the grassroots, bear a unique responsibility. Unlike federal officials who operate at a macroeconomic level, governors are directly accountable to constituents who bear the brunt of economic policies. It is therefore baffling that they would endorse a tax reform policy without first conducting extensive consultation with key stakeholders in their states. For instance, how will these reforms affect small and medium-sized enterprises (SMEs), which form the backbone of the Nigerian economy? Will there be measures to ensure that local businesses are not overburdened? I hope they are doing that, because it is people that are raking in a whole lot of money that they should really focus on, because those are the people that even evade tax. They don't want to pay it because they have leg or they have money, so they don't pay tax. So they should make sure that it doesn't really affect small and medium-sized enterprises. I hope they will put that into consideration, because these people, they like to frustrate us. Now poor person they like to choke pass. Have the governors considered the potential backlash from the informal sector operators who have long evaded the tax net but might now face compliance demands? Exactly. Another pressing issue is lack of transparency surrounding the reform's implementation. While the federal government has outlined its broad objectives, the specifics remain murky. Without clear guidelines, there is a real risk that the reforms could become a tool for exploitation rather than development. Governors must push for clarity. They should demand detailed breakdowns of how revenues from the reforms will be utilized. Will the funds be channeled toward critical sectors like education, healthcare, and infrastructure? Hey, we will pray so. That one na serious prayer we go pray. Or will they vanish into the abyss of bureaucratic inefficiencies and corruption? Countries like Rwanda and South Africa offer valuable lessons on tax reform. In Rwanda, a simplified tax code and investments in digital infrastructure have significantly improved compliance rates. South Africa, despite its challenges, has managed to maintain a relatively high tax-to-GDP ratio by fostering trust between the government and taxpayer. You see that trust is going to be very difficult here in Nigeria when we don't trust the government at all, at all, at all, at all. These examples underscore the importance of building public trust. Nigerians must believe that their taxes will be used judiciously, but we don't believe they are going to use it judiciously because all the money that we've been raking in this country, what have they done with it? Nothing. So is it now that they are not going to do something judiciously with the money? We don't trust them for that one. No. We'll just pray and hope that they use the money judiciously. This requires not only accountability at the federal level, but also proactive governance at the state level. Governors therefore have a critical role to play in ensuring that tax revenues are transparently and effectively utilized within their state. The governor's endorsement of the tax reform policy should not mark the end of their involvement. On the contrary, it should be the beginning of a concerted effort to ensure its success. This means engaging with stakeholders, addressing public concerns, and holding the federal government accountable. All these things, will they do it? No. If you say they should come and be transparent now, they should come and tell us how they are spending money. Will they listen? I doubt it. I doubt it. Firstly, governors must organize town hall meetings to educate their constituents about the reforms. Many Nigerians remain skeptical about taxation, viewing it as an unjust imposition rather than a civic duty. Transparent communication can help change the narrative. Secondly, they must advocate for equitable revenue sharing. States that contribute significantly to the national tax pool deserve a fair share of the returns. This is particularly critical for oil-producing states, which often bears the environmental and social cost of resource extraction. Lastly, governments must ensure that tax revenues are used to deliver tangible benefits, whether it is building schools, fixing roads, or providing healthcare. These visible investments can help build public trust and improve compliance rates. Yes, if you can see that, oh, the healthcare is getting better, the roads are good, they are building school, we can see visible changes. Of course, we will trust them. The endorsement of Nigerian tax reform by governors should be a turning point for the country's economy. However, it risks becoming just another follow act if not backed by genuine commitment and critical oversight. Oh, this is all my listeners. Over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.